Hi everyone. So we went on a hiatus for a couple of months and now we're kind of back. So here's an episode that we recorded back in September. Um I think we should be back to normal programming for the rest of the year. So thanks for sticking out. Hope you enjoy. I think we talk about random shit. Honestly, I can't even like put a summary to it. So, all right, bye.
Recording in progress. Got her.
Hi,
Got her.
okay. Hi everyone. Welcome back to the I almost said Be More podcast. I don't even intro the Be More podcast.
Wrong one.
Welcome back to the Right Amount of Unhinged podcast where a couple best friends talk about whatever we want. Because we are talking about something that I talked about on the Be More podcast is probably why my brain said Be More podcast. We're going to be talking about this other podcast from the New York Times called Serial. I don't know if you know anything about that podcast. No, you don't listen to true crime, period. So, but so
podcasts, period.
Oh, well, that too, but you've never heard anything like in pop culture about this podcast, is what I was okay, nothing. So Serial had this one good season, and by good I mean good in viewership. Like, so basically one season they went through a whole case, Anand Syed, his case, and how he allegedly killed his girlfriend back in high school, but there was like no real evidence against it, but he got put into jail. And so that whole season back then was like following him, getting interviews with like all these people involved. I want to say a few months ago, he's like out of jail now, and it like catapulted that cold case into being looked into again. So that's why I just want to give the background to you.
Yeah.
Why this is like a big podcast. So this past month they just released a new season called The Retrievals. I was just telling Ashley this before we hit record, about this nurse that works for the Yale University fertility clinic was stealing fentanyl from, I think she got over 175 vials of fentanyl within like a few.
That's a lot of fentanyl.
That's a thumbnail if I've ever seen one. 175 vials of fentanyl over allegedly 5 to 6 months, but I personally think it's more than 5 to 6 months with the way that
oh my god, 175 vials in 6 months. And like, yeah, this bitch was taking this much fentanyl and like nobody thought she was weird. Like her behavior was flagging to anybody. These are all doctors and nurses that she works with, and they're all like, haha, that's just Donna. Like, no one was like, hey, these are the signs of a hardcore opioid addict. They were just like, she just has glazed eyes all the time. That's just how Donna is.
So that's okay. So a little bit of background so we can rant about this white woman named Donna for my like 5th time in my life.
Fuck you, Donna.
So Donna, this Donna person we keep talking about, is the nurse that stole fentanyl. She works as a nurse in the IVF clinic, fertility clinic. The podcast interviews many women that went through the process. So all the IVF shots, all this stuff, the doctors, they go through the Yale clinic, and it goes into when they actually have the egg retrieval and what happens to them there. And basically what happens is they don't have fucking any pain medication on them. And you can only imagine what that even felt like. Those poor women. And so I think what is baffling to me, there's 2 or 3 things. One, that no one checked to see if it was actually fentanyl, because she replaced it with saline. So like nothing. Yeah, so she replaced it with saline. So number one, no one double checked Donna's work, saying like, yeah,
they just like trusted this girl. They're like, yeah, she's great at her job. That's fine.
So that's one, like with the nurses and the doctors. Number two, the women that were interviewed said that they did complain while, because like some of them weren't under, like they were awake, trigger
Yeah, but women
warnings.
are so dismissed about pain.
So that's number two. That's what it is. The doctor's like, well, we'll put you under more fentanyl then, I guess, if you can feel it. And they're like, well, I can feel it. And they're like, well, this is legally the most I can give you. So either you fucking this isn't any doctors, but basically they're like, well, either you fucking sit there or we can stop and you can just, waste all your money again for shots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those are two of my main things because like obviously the subplot with this is like we don't get when we're medically like in a medical position as women or women identifying people, we don't get like we're not like it's not serious is what people think, which is so annoying. And then forget if you're like not white. If you're not a white woman, then it's like double the pain tolerance we have to have just because no one will take us seriously. Um Also, the kicker that I found, which was in a plot, it's not a plot twist, but it was like, holy shit, are you serious? Donna was also an IVF patient back in the day,
That's unsurprising.
and she was at some point she was holding people's hands in the fucking room, like saying like, oh, you'll be fine. Like, yeah, it's supposed to hurt. Like,
Yeah, I'm
oh,
reading about some of it, and these women talking about like how like she straight up gaslit them, and they were like, "Oh, is this like normal? I'm in a lot of pain." She was like, "Yeah,
did you get to the part where she got
bitch
sentenced?
ass." Yeah, and well, she's a
So
mother. Like, okay, like give me white boy on trial for sexual assault, and like it's the same thing.
So basically, again, synopsis, she pled guilty after she got caught. And the way that she got caught, apparently, based on this podcast, is that finally one of the other nurses or PAs, physician assistants, was like, this opioid cap seems very easy to open. Like 6 months later was like, this is like instead of the childproof fucking like whatever, they just opened it and they're like, well,
Yeah.
that seemed too easy. Well, fucking finally, I guess after 6 months, shit. So she pled guilty, which means that she didn't have to go through a whole jury trial. It was just like her and a judge, and obviously everyone like, it was during COVID, so people zoomed in from their living rooms and like watched the sentencing trial. So it wasn't like a guilty or not guilty plea, whatever. She pled guilty. Basically, the judge gave her 4 alternating weekends, like supervised at home arrest for like 30 years. And like the alternating weekends were like there was only like four. So she was in jail like 8 times, like for 8 days. And the reasoning is because her husband would have gotten full custody, and she said that her husband was abusive. And I'm not saying that he may not be or he is. I just don't know the
I would bet
situation.
that he absolutely is.
A
I would
hundred
bet
percent.
100% that he absolutely is.
Right. I
You
don't
don't
look.
become a
I don't know.
fentanyl addict just without, buckets of trauma.
Right. I'm not
But
saying,
like
but so
popping out fucking kids doesn't mean you're above anything.
yeah. So light sentencing for the 200 plus women that she inherently hurt,
Tortured?
yeah, and tortured. Um, but also I don't know what the right course of action would have been anyway. I mean, like, if only like rehab was a thing for like sentencing, but like jail is the only thing that, judges can judge upon, I think. Like jail time.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
Well, she
again,
would have gotten clean in jail.
yeah. I mean, the four
Give her
alternating
prison. She should
weekends.
have gotten prison time and then mandatory like rehab therapy shit to
Yeah, because
deal with it.
I don't think she got mandatory after
I'm
like
sure she fucking didn't.
she also was could practice still. I think she could still practice, but I don't obviously don't think
I
she
read
went.
I think she turned in her nursing license or something. She
Yeah,
like
yeah,
gave it up or whatever.
exactly. Also, I think if I remember correctly, she wasn't like she became a licensed nurse in her 40s. Like she didn't like straight out come out of school like back in her 20s.
Well, 'cause she developed a drug addiction and became a nurse to get drugs.
Right. Donna.
God damn it, Donna.
Look, I that sucks. I just feel for the women that like went in was like, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna have this
I'm gonna have
thing.
mild discomfort. It's fine. I'm gonna be
Oh my
just
God.
uncomfortable. And then to believe, because that's literally what all of healthcare is for women, believe that like you are feeling false pain.
So there are a couple of stories within obviously these interviews. One of the women that went in, there's a couple sad stories. One of the women went in And she works at Yale as I feel like I can't remember, like a neurologist. Like she's, she knows what's going on. Like
Sure.
she's in the medical field, knows what's going on. The day that of her retrieval, she literally saw it, I guess it was Donna, have like one of the IV drips like in her pocket. Oh, so she's like, oh, she's definitely stealing fentanyl right now. She's definitely stealing my pain medication. But she reasoned herself out of it because the people around her were like, nah, maybe you're just not, whatever. The doctor's like, this is normal. And like, this is an educated woman that knows what is happening around her. And as a woman, again, it's like, nah, maybe it's just me. like,
It's
like,
literally so painfully easy to gaslight women,
yeah. And it's so
especially when it comes
unfortunate.
to like physical pain and discomfort.
It's so unfortunate. Because like we get taught like, oh, like our bodies are like meant for childbirth and all this pain. So like we just suck it up. But like,
It's the age old fucking joke. Me, like, video, oh, my husband's sick. So that means I gotta, take care of everything. But the wife is sick. So she's still gotta handle the
yeah,
whole house. Literally nothing changes for her while she's sick and in pain. But he gets the sniffles and it's like, oh, the world stops. And like, this is a perpetuated thing. And like, it
yeah.
is the common, like, accepted, like, yeah, like, women suffer pains every fucking month.
We were just talking about it before we hit record. How
Uterus owners suffer, in some cases, in most cases, debilitating pains. You see the funny videos of, oh, the guys try a cramp simulator and on 5 can't handle it, but women plug it in and put it on to 15. And they're like, dude, I have to like go to work like this. And they're like, no, you don't. There's no way. And it's like, yes, because we have been conditioned our entire lives to just accept that, to be in pain, be in discomfort, to gaslit into believing that like it's okay that we live like this.
yeah.
We go to doctors and how many women will give a high rating on a scale of 1 to 10 for your pain. We're like, well, it would hurt worse if you kicked me down a flight of stairs right now. So I guess a 7. And they're like, and then the doctor looks at you and you're like, maybe it's a 5 and I'm just dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't be taken seriously, which is real, especially when like this woman knew months before the guilty plea came out that she was like, I was right. But that cost her thousands of fucking dollars because many of these people miscarried because of the pain that their whole uterus fucking encountered, the trauma.
Yep.
This other woman went in and she was going through breast cancer, like, so she wanted to freeze her eggs and like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, and Donna was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this fucking woman's fentanyl. Are you kidding me? Like, that's crazy.
That's an addict, though. They can't rationalize.
No, yeah, for sure. But I just thought it was super. I obviously like, again, as a woman, going into like we just downplay the shit out of everything. Like, for example, again, before we hit record, I've been nauseous for like a week. And I'm like, it's like it's either I'm dying or it's just like nothing. So obviously for me, I'm like, I'll have my panic attack one day, and then the 6 days other like in the week, I'm like, it could be nothing, or it could be dying from a fucking ulcer for all I know.
For all you know. How many women do we hear about their appendix burst and they almost die because they're like, oh, it's period cramps. Their appendix ruptured, whereas men don't even get to that point because they're like, ouchies. Like, oh, I have an owie, and like go to the doctor instantaneously.
Yeah.
Fucking headphones just died. I'm gonna fucking light myself on fire. There we go. Fuck's sake.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
What side is your appendix? I'm asking the wrong person. All right, I'll ask Google. If you can guess, you have a 50-50 chance. What do you think?
Left.
Appendicitis typically starts with pain in the middle that may come and go. Within hours, the pain travels to your lower right.
Damn. I don't know shit. Ask me anything about my anatomy. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Where is this located on your body? Fucked if I know. That's okay. I've been out with my mother driving a couple of times, and every time I have to give her directions, I'm telling her to turn left. I'm pointing right. I'm like, yeah, make a left. And then she's like, a left? Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, a left. Follow that car. She's like, right? I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Jesus.
LOL.
That's why this one doesn't drive.
No. I don't know what I'm doing ever. I don't know where anything is.
No. So, yeah, so there's the media I've been consuming. I don't know what else I don't know how to wrap that up, honestly.
What can I move into? What can I segue to from this?
Segu.
Segue.
Segue is such a weird word to spell.
Segue.
Because I think Segway as in like the Segway machine
Yeah.
thing, but that's not
No.
that at all.
I
Segu.
had a good segue and then my headphones died and I don't have it anymore.
Drugs.
Stupid. Drugs. Oh, okay. I hate addicts. As a former addict, I hate addicts. I get so angry because like the key thing, especially like recovering addicts, is like they blame everybody else. And like this fucking fentanyl addict that caused how many, honestly, you want to play the fucking Republican favorite, baby Jets, because they miscarried. She caused forced abortions. So
yeah.
Kill her then. I don't know. But like fucking addicts will sit there and be like, oh, well, I can't go to jail because my ex-husband's abusive and he'll get my kids. And like, again, I don't doubt her claim at all. I 100% believe that her ex-husband is absolutely abusive. She's a fucking addict and addicts are born from something. But like, fuck addict, grow up and take some fucking responsibility. So for those that don't know, I'm an ex-alcoholic. I'm coming up somewhere in the realm of 10 years sober.
So that's about 10 years now.
About 10 years
about
now
10 years.
that I have been completely sober. My only vice, I continue to smoke cigarettes because I don't give a fuck and I like it. But I don't drink, I don't do drugs, nothing fun. I'm boring and bland all the time. But like I tried going to AA once because I struggle, you know, I'm an addict. I struggle. I will always struggle, you know. And I got so fucking mad and I like yelled at somebody and they asked me like leave. And I was like, well, because addicts blame everybody else and they don't take any awareness or like acceptance for what the fuck they did or the issues they have caused or their own culpability in their addiction and like the people they have hurt along the way. And it's like, bruh, it's one of the whole ass steps.
Right.
And like addicts
you getting
get
kicked
me
out
so riled up because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, blame everybody. I haven't heard you take any fucking like acceptance for your fault. Like,
yeah, of course.
You were the addict. You made these choices. You hurt others and did these things. And everybody's like really mad. And I was like, fuck all of you. Like, if you're mad, then you're a problem. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't get mad. You know why? Because I accepted it was my fault. Like, were there things that like caused me to become an alcoholic? Yeah, of course. Again, an addict is born from trauma of some, you know, caliber and capacity. Everyone's experience is not the same, but at the root, there is all trauma leads to an addict. Mm-hmm. But like, it's your own motherfucking fault. You did it. You did it.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you.
What's that
Accept
like?
Your fault.
What's that analogy? Like you can lead a horse to water or something?
Yeah.
Like you like here. But you did it. You at the end of the day, you drank the fucking water. Like you did it. Like,
you made those choices. Look, there are a select number of addicts that absolutely is not their fault because they were trafficked in one way or another and they were forced into these things and they had no other choice. Those people, you know who I'm not going to give shit to? Those people. You know who I am going to give shit to? The fucking privileged ass, you know, white people that I was sitting with that were like, oh, well, my family, my mother, my blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, bro. At the end of the day, you motherfucking did it. You made the fucking choice to continue doing it. And like, it doesn't help that I think part of the issue was that I was so young in comparison to everybody else. You know what?
I was gonna say
I stopped drinking at 23-ish.
Yeah.
Which I realized to some listeners are like, wow, only 2 years and you were an alcoholic. I was longer than 2 years. And like, yes, I was an alcoholic. And you know how I know I'm still an alcoholic? Because I'm going to Disney soon. And I was like, I could drink a little bit. Like, it'll be fine. Everybody in my life is like, absolutely no, you can the fuck not. And I'm like, I could. And then I'm like, you know what? The fact that I'm like, yeah, but like, I do all the soul grocery shopping now. Like, I could totally go to the liquor store, get booze, and like hide it in the house and like drink on my own. And no, because I'm left to my own devices. And I'm like, you know what? I still have a problem. Nope, still sick. Still an addict. Turns out, still an alcoholic. It doesn't just go away. But like, these fucking people don't take their own responsibilities for their fucking actions, and they think that like, oh well, because everything else that happened to them like excuses the behavior, and it's like, no, it doesn't. No, it literally doesn't. But so I'm in a room at, what was I, like, I had to be like 24 or 25. It was like one of the points when I was struggling.
You were still young.
I
I'm
was
gonna tell you
still
that.
I
You were a
was still
child.
young, so I'm sitting there. I'm the only like kid in there. I'm the only one sub 30 sitting around, and I got no motherfucking patience for people. And I really don't have patience for men. And it was a man,
Of course.
obviously. And I fucking popped up because I fucking snorted and laughed, and they were like, "Do you have something to add?" And I was like, "You don't want me to add? Like, you don't want me to?
You
It's
don't
okay.
want me to, yeah.
I'll be quiet. That's fine." And they were like, "No, you clearly have something. So like add it to the group. Like, what's what we're here for?" And I was like, "All right, fucking." And then I popped off. And they did not like that. And a lot of people got very upset. And like some of the older women were like, but all of them were like, ugh. And I was like, right, you've never had to be fucking responsible for yourself or be held accountable for any of your fucking own actions or choices. So that's fucking fine, I guess. I don't want to be here. They were like, you should probably go. And I was like, good. Why? So I don't need to waste my fucking time anyway. Because that's all this is, a fucking circle jerk, a waste of time where you're all going to pat each other on the back.
Yeah,
and not actually
just
address
attempting.
or like, fuck you. I'm not rewarding the bare minimum. We don't do that. Thank you.
And that also translates to therapy. Going back to our last episode, if you're doing therapy like that, you're not doing it right. Like, if you're getting validation from your therapist that you're doing a good job, that you're not doing something right because you're literally deflecting and being like, this is what I did. As opposed to like, this is what we have to work on.
Yeah.
Like,
this is where my responsibility lies. And this is what I need to correct.
Correct.
Like,
Also, so going back to our last episode on therapy and stuff, I edited that yesterday. This is us in real time, not us in whenever this goes up. I don't cry. I was tearing up. So I was like, oh, okay. Because it was very heavy.
Yeah.
That episode was very heavy.
We're like, let's play Genshin. Let's talk about real stuff. This is why this podcast is unhinged.
Like, absolutely, just like, because I mean, going to this conversation right here, we do our shit. We are recovering from whatever trauma, but like the amount of people that don't is really fucking annoying. And then that's when we get mad.
I got no patience for it. I got no motherfucking patience for it. I don't care. I did the work. I did the work that I needed to do. And like, I have no patience for people review. I have patience when you're trying. But once you stop trying and you're making excuses and you find reasons that it's like, okay that you did this and it's okay that you don't get fully punished and it's okay that you like, no, fuck out of my face. Like, you have to face consequences. That's, again, one of the motherfucking steps that they talk about. Also, that shit just didn't work for me because it's very baked in religion. And like, addiction is addiction. You can the 12-step stuff and like AA and like all those like addiction things. A lot of it is very strongly steeped in religion because you're trading one addiction for another. You're finding, repentance and acceptance and approval in a God now instead of yourself and those around you and those you have hurt. There are some bridges you can't rebuild, but you should still try to apologize to them, and not because God wants you to or because, religion guides you that. You should, for decency and for the fact that you need to correct your former failings. And when you put religion at the crux of it and being like, well, God accepts me, and like, no, I'm not really worried about that. Like, my gods will figure my shit out, and like, I'll be found wanting, and that's fine. That's my own choices. But it needs to come from yourself. And when you replace an addiction to alcohol or drugs or whatever, and you move that addiction into something else, be it religion, a lot of people do, transform it into yoga. So like religion, spiritualism, like whatever, they just change the addiction to another thing. I don't have the patience for that either, because it's not true acceptance, it's not true repentance, and it's not true work on yourself. It is work for a new addiction and a new reason.
Period.
Very strong feelings. I may be dumb as fuck and point right and tell you to go left, but like, I'm wise. I rolled 0 into intelligence, but I rolled really high into wisdom.
Yeah, that's a story of your life. I can't ask you for shit.
Literally, I built a character on Baldur's Gate 3 for Kevin, and he's just playing me because the roles, I was like, maybe it's 2 intelligence, maybe, but she's got like 12 wisdom, and he was like, it's you. And I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I can't ask you for shit.
No.
Unless Unless like it's like some real talk advice shit.
Yeah, dude, like I got you. I can deep dive into like some fucking hardcore shit. But like if you're like, where's your appendix? I'm like,
Fuck if I know.
in your body. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Pretty positive. I'm like
Yeah.
almost certain.
Well, you're right on that. It's just on the lower, what I say, lower right
Lower
back
right.
side.
Well,
Yeah, which
that
is
was like your
awful.
kidneys.
I think it's just back
That where
because you have
stuff is.
two. Yeah, I mean
Is
your
that
kidneys.
just the area where things are? I
Well,
don't know.
so I have I mean, I have liver issues.
Yeah.
Like it's just nothing serious. We'll see when I'm older. But that's my lower right front.
Okay. So
So there's
I don't know.
differing because lower right back is your appendix apparently. Your
I guess.
kidneys are your lower back
All right. I don't
because
fucking
there's
know. Ask me to point out an organ. I'm gonna tell you fucked if I know. It's like showing me a map and asking me to show you more than 5 states. I don't know. I know the big ones. I know the ones that like like I know California, I know Texas, I know Florida, I know New Jersey.
yeah.
I
That's
know
a
Oklahoma because it's like a
like a oh yeah, it's a weird shape. But when it gets to like the Midwest, forget it. I don't know.
ask me anything other than those. And I'm like, I would fail. If I
How
had
many countries
to
do you think? How many countries do you think you can identify on a map?
none.
This one's China. Actually, that's fucking South Africa. Can you imagine?
I wouldn't even try. If you put me in a situation where like we're playing a game, you have to identify countries. I'd be like, I don't honestly know what a country is. Catholic school failed me. I don't know shit. Like
And then you got to high school and you're like, well, shit. I mean, I guess I
I
can
then
read.
they didn't care anymore. I got to high school and they were like fucking whatever, man. Like they didn't care.
Yeah, 1 plus 1. That's all. That's all you got.
Dude, if even that, they did not give a shit. We went to the same high school. You know they didn't give a shit about anything I did. They don't know. They don't care.
Though I did teach someone today at work what I learned in our computers 101 class.
Oh, I don't know anything.
Just well, or it might be like in the other computer class with our beloved computer teacher,
Beloved.
the advanced one.
I didn't take
Um,
that.
yeah, because it had to do with Word docs and like formatting that shit. And
Oh,
you know her, she loved formatting shit.
I didn't take. I only took one of her classes,
Yeah, which
and
is
it was
probably
like
just a 101.
business.
Oh,
It was a
then you
business class.
never
It wasn't even
you
computers.
okay, so
I had to
computers.
sit in one of her computer classes
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
deal with one of her problem students.
Right. You were just her
She got
TA.
them to
Yeah.
switch me out of like a nothing, like a self study or something, whatever the fuck it
Oh,
was.
got
She
it.
got
Yeah.
them to allow me to not go to that and sit with her because she was like, I need someone, and like she's free. So and they're like, all right, just let her do what the fuck she wants.
Just
She's like,
yeah.
she's gonna go anyway. So just
Yeah,
approve
exactly.
it. She's gonna be there. So like at least we'll just know on paper where she is, I guess.
Exactly. So, what were we talking about? This is why I can't have you on like not that I go to trivia, but like never.
No,
Period.
no, I
Like
don't know anything.
trivia.
Unless it's like some obscure, unnecessary information. I
It's
do
like
not know it.
it's like early 2000s gothic TV show
Got
on
you.
the CW.
I
Like
also
something.
know like there's a lot of like unnecessary like bug information I know. Like I know a lot about
Yeah.
like plants and mushrooms, but like obscurely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have a lot of unnecessary obscure information, but like ask me to like tell you like what a continent is and I don't know.
Do you know how
I
many there are?
no.
Do I know? There's 7.
I was like, I want to say 9, but I'm pretty positive that's not right.
How many?
If I confidently believe there's 9, there's absolutely not 9.
7.
7, not
7.
9.
I mean,
Isn't there like a lot of countries?
there are a lot of countries.
I don't know.
There are a lot. So
Ask
Asia
me to
is a
point out 7 continents. I don't know. I
so
again,
Asia is a continent.
sure.
Countries would be Philippines,
Got
South
it.
Korea, Japan.
Liddy. Could not
There
find
are a
not one of
lot.
those if you showed me a map.
There are a lot of
If the
countries.
map was unlabeled, I would not know.
Work.
Again, my
Okay.
roles are in wisdom, not intelligence. I am
Right.
not smart at
Right.
all, which is fine. I'm good with that.
That's
I got
fine. Everyone
I have
else
been
compensates.
suffering from dumb bitch disease my entire life, and that's
Everyone
okay.
everyone compensates. Yeah. It truly takes a village to raise you.
I am at all times just present.
Whether or not that's true is up to you.
Yeah. Physically or mentally, never both.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, whether
you
or not
have one or the other.
Whether or not you believe that is up to you.
When the DVD logo pings into the corner directly, that's when I have a thought and you've got me. Yeah. And then that ends.
That's it.
And you're waiting for the next time it does it again.
Yeah, which could be hours or within seconds. It could be.
You never know. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
You know what? I rolled into wisdom and charisma and that's it.
I got the intelligence. It's fine.
The gods were like, fuck it. That's all she needs. Send her out. Fuck it.
Yeah.
She can't tie a shoe. That's fine. They come tied.
There's Velcro ones. That's fine.
Laces come tied on shoes now. She's good. No worries. Send her out. She's got it. Someone else will tie her shoe. Fuck it. If it unties, someone else will do it.
It's really just overcompensating.
I have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, fuck it up.
Period. Yeah, exactly. That's all you have.
Ashley, fuck what up? I don't know, man, but you got it.
You got it.
Fuck
it's
yeah.
Matching energy at this point. You're just matching energy.
What I'm here for.
Yeah.
Who we mad at? I'm fucking big mad at them. I don't really know the situation or what's going on, but I'm fucking in it. Fuck that. Fuck them.
Truly. Just
Ashley, I was wrong. But you're never fucking no. Even if you were wrong, it's fine. You're aware of it, and that's important. They should have adjusted accordingly.
Truly, like the it's the worst and the best depending on the situation.
If you were wrong, then they should have been prepared for that. I don't know. That's on them.
That's on them. That's
you. On them.
Yeah, but then when the fucking DVD fucking thing pings and you're like, nah, yeah, you were right. Like you were
the
wrong.
DVD pings and I'm like, well, here's how this could have gone, but it didn't, obviously. So like, here's a great resolution process for you. And here's a way to like work through that effectively and productively. And I dropped that. And then I'm like, we should definitely get cookies right now.
I have to send you a TikTok. There was like, we definitely shouldn't go to Starbucks. And then it's like them like side eyeing, be like, no, we're going. And then the other one is like, we should definitely not go to Barnes and Noble and go get a new book. And then it's again that. And then the last thing is like, we should definitely just not go to Chick-fil-A and go get fucking fries. And then it's literally like, yeah. So it's like literally like, yeah, that's you.
It's
yeah.
I dropped these bombs of wisdom, and then I'm like, oh my god, you know I haven't had in a minute? Fucking cheese.
Yeah.
I have not dipped French fries in warm cheese in like at least hours.
2 hours.
It's crazy.
In like 2 hours, let's go.
Y'all just left reeling like.
It's like whiplash. It really is. And I've just learned to just like, all right, like she's on to the next thing. I guess we're done here.
Yeah, you gotta work through it. That's it.
It's not even that. You just forget.
Yeah, no. Literally, how many times have you been like, wow, that was really good? And I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
You're like, the thing you just said. And I'm like,
And I'm like, dude. I'm like,
I think you asked me to like repeat something, and I'm like, I don't have any idea. If you missed it, we both missed it. I don't know.
At this point, yeah.
If you wanted to write it down, it is long gone.
Which is why I write shit down and give it to you.
You should have been ready. I don't know.
Like,
just always have a pen and paper. I drop shit and I don't.
This is why I write shit and give it to you every birthday. I'm like, here you go. This is what you did this
Here's
year.
Some of the dope shit that you provided me in last year. And I'm like, lit. Did I say that? You're like, yes. You've changed my entire worldview and helped me grow as I'm like,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds really good. And you're like, yes, you said it. I'm like,
it's like, thanks for raising me the past year. Here's what you did. It's a fucking recap. Next year, you're turning, your birthday's in a month. It's just gonna be a PowerPoint. It's gonna be one.
Here's what you did in the past year and how it benefited me. And I'm like, I did those. No shit, I said that.
That's crazy.
That's a banger. Good for me.
That's crazy.
No recollection of it ever occurring. But I'm like, remember that T-shirt that you wore when we went to Mitsubishi that one time, and you had like that really great outfit? You're like, no, and I'm like, oh my god, I got you.
Here, wear this. Stupid.
You loved this outfit. You looked great in it.
Stupid. So dumb. Meanwhile, I'm editing the fucking podcast every week, and you're like, you said something really cool. And you're like, what the fuck did I say?
I'm like, I said something good?
Yeah. You're never gonna go back. I actually don't watch or listen. I've now turned into such like a social media person, like in social, not in Instagram like that stuff. I mean like YouTube and Spotify, that whenever I edit now, which is typical for many people, I don't re-listen once it's posted. Like whatever,
that makes
like
sense.
I can't like I'm not trying to listen to myself again for the third time. I hate doing it twice. So.
When I listen to anything that we did, I'm like, first of all, the my disassociation and my body dysmorphia, I have no fucking idea who's talking or what's going on. And I'm like, oh, that's me. No shit. And like I say shit, and I'm like, oh.
So Kate did not like uninstall TikTok from her phone.
On myself.
Yeah, you did. Kate uninstalled TikTok from her phone for like a while now. She hasn't been on TikTok for like over a year now.
Wow.
She just re-downloaded it to see what, because she stalked herself on my TikTok to see what she posted back then.
Yeah.
And then this bitch re-downloads it, looks into her like her drafts or whatever, and there's like filters that obviously like on TikTok that are like, oh, rank 1 through 5, whatever comes up, whatever. So she's doing this thing, she's ranking the same things over herself from like a year or two ago, and she's getting the same results, and she's like, I was right. I was like, that's literally you. Like, what do you mean?
Girl,
like, what do you mean?
Your thoughts, like it would match. Because it's your choices.
And then she's doing the same exact antics where it's like, oh, well, I think it's 4, but it could be 5. And her on the video is like, well, it could be 4 or 5, depending. I'm like, you are literally just the same, is what you're telling me.
You're just rehashing your own thoughts.
And Kate's like, exactly. She's talking to herself from the past. This is you probably watching the podcast. You're like, oh, yeah, this.
I listen to it and I like say something, and then like, past me says that, I'm like, oh shit, I was on it. She knows.
Both of you,
she gets it.
She gets. Kate's like, yeah, you get it. I'm like, yeah, because that's literally you. Like, yes, of course you get it because you're pretty much the same person when it comes to these opinions.
Oh man, that kid also rolled into wisdom and charisma.
Yeah, she really did. Yeah, for real. You somewhat raised her, so that's on you.
That poor kid. I know. I'm so sorry. That's okay. I set her up good. For like what the current like socioeconomic climate is. Like she's good. She's got this. She's gonna fucking continue to just rule and come out on top of her social situations and standings.
This is definitely feeding her ego. This is definitely feeding her ego. She'll find us one day and be like, oh, what the fuck?
They talked about me?
Yeah.
We'll just get iconic.
we'll get a random text with no context. You remember that the text message yesterday from the group? I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I never know. I just like, I'm like, yeah, fucking all right.
I'm like, God, what is this?
Next questions?
Yeah. That's why I just sent TikToks. I'm like, here's the context. Here's a TikTok.
Here's context. And here's what I'm saying.
As opposed to like, here's either a text or just a picture with no caption. And I'm like, what?
Wait, I died. The one I sent you yesterday, the bisexual one.
Oh.
I was in tears. I was like, I'm so angry that I'm such a walking cliche.
Yeah. I guess like, yeah, because even sometimes I'm like, really? Is this just a universal experience?
No one's unique. Nothing is special.
Look, the one thing that really got to me was that everyone's fucking comfort movie on the plane is goddamn Crazy Rich Asians. I thought that had over 100,000 likes. I'm like, so we all just doing this at the same time?
Yep. We all are just living the same like limited choice path in the simulation.
Yeah, truly. Every day I'm like, we're living in this goddamn simulation.
There was one I saw that I was like, oh, and I felt called out. This girl's like, I was talking to my therapist and I said, yeah, like, oh, we love that. And she was like, oh, like you and your friends. And she was like, no, like we
as in me, myself, and I.
And the therapist was like, that's just, you would say me, I. And she was like, no, we, my brain and my body are separate entities. And I was like, see, like, no, I don't grok with it like that. Like there's like the me and then there's like me. Like there's.
Where do you live in your body? Have you heard that question?
Where do I live in my body? I live in my head.
Okay. Some people are like, yeah. Because some people have other answers, like behind my throat. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's made up. That's like you're lying. I just intrinsically don't believe you. I just think you're a liar.
That's what, like your left arm. What do you mean behind your throat?
No. So like I'm here, but then like I'm here. Like she's chilling. Like she's just in there. Honestly, that fucking SpongeBob episode where he's going through all the filing cabinets
Yeah,
like in the
yeah.
cranium. I'm like, yeah, like
That's you.
yeah, that's like just what it's like. Like she has to look for stuff sometimes, and like I, it's why I can't make a decision because like when I have to make a decision like in my existence, I'm like, all right, like yeah, I'm gonna grab this, and inside my brain she's like, yeah, and if we don't grab it, like if you're wrong, you're wrong, but like it's okay. And then like I am wrong, and she's like, you see, I told you, you should have done this. But if I am right, she's like, whatever, like I don't even care.
Damn. Okay. Well, I have
Yeah.
nothing going up here. I have
Oh
nothing
man,
over here.
I
Like,
am. I saw one thing that was like, oh, like, you know, just talking to yourself when you're home alone. And they're like, yeah, but like to the mentally ill level where like you're just having a whole kind and you're like, yeah, no, like I should have done this. And you
oh yeah,
respond
I do
and like
that. Yeah.
internally responding to yourself, like, oh yeah, but like having like it's as if I'm on a phone call.
Yeah, no, I do that too,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, that's fair.
24/7.
Yeah. There's a
There
constant
is
like
there's never a moment.
it's not silent, but I don't think I have people running around my brain because I've heard people and have literal file cabinets or like
Yeah.
visually can like
Yes.
whatever.
Yep.
Girl, nothing.
I
There's
visually
nothing.
have like file folders and like boxes where things go.
I can't see. There's nothing in like I can't see anything in here. When I
Oh
think
no.
when I think there's nothing in there, I'm one of those. Which is why when people are like, "Oh, do you know what you like?" I couldn't like if you're not in front of me. I think I've said this in some either
Yeah,
this
yeah,
podcast or whatever. I can't like. There's a hazy
yeah.
thing.
You objectively understand what something looks like, but you can't like visualize that item in its like
Like
reality inside your head.
right, like if you say apple,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I like no, but
Objectively,
there's
you know what an
nothing.
apple
No,
looks like.
what's in
Yeah.
yeah, like a green one, a red one. Like which one do you want me to spew out? Like I know what they
Meanwhile, like
look
I have
like.
like whole music videos like playing in here on like I'll wake up and there's just a fucking stupid ass song I had for no fucking reason, like whatever video I associated or whatever like so okay,
Memory
I
of
played Dark Cloud a lot when I was a kid. And like fucking Hawthorne Heights, that Ohio is for Lover album came out while I was playing Dark Cloud a lot. And I was listening to the
that's a good
CD.
album.
Is a good album. And like I was listening to that CD for the first time while I was doing a playthrough of Dark Cloud. So randomly my brain will provide like a track from that and I will like witness like
Visually.
playing that game again. Like I will witness the
It's like
progression. It
Kate.
is literally the character with a stupid ass green hat walking into this very specific cave with my favorite fucking weapon that I know is about to break because it's flashing the fucking red. And like I just literally see that TV screen playing that. Like I don't see like me disembodied playing it. I don't see even my
No,
hands at
it's
the
like yeah.
controller. It's just the TV screen as that song plays, and that's happening.
Yeah, you're so Kate, you literally this child is you. Kate's same way. She's like, oh, for example, like SZA's new album, like that was last. I can envision winter break. I'm like, you just have that there. She's like, oh, like, I don't know. You know, she'll pick a random album, and be like, oh, it's because I can see
Mhm.
what I was, yeah.
Yep.
As I'm like, I know what that Ohio's for Lovers Hawthorne Heights album looks like, but I can't
Yeah.
tell you what it looks like.
Yeah. No, it's like that beige with like the black.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
I have not listened to that album or looked at that album in more than a decade.
But like
But like,
yeah. Yeah.
do you smell or feel things when you hear a certain song or album?
Um, I no, I have a feeling, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't. There's no
So
physical like
I will get
synesthesia of it.
cold or I will smell. Like I if I listen to
I think the smell would freak me out because I'm like, am I having a stroke?
I constantly think I'm having a stroke. I just smell food sometimes and I'm like,
Like,
it's
haven't you cooking
definitely not
anything?
happening. Like that's
Yeah,
most assuredly not occurring, but like smells good. But like if I hear a certain song from like a certain like block party album, I will smell snow.
that's cool. No, I don't have like that synesthesia
It's
of some
weird.
sort. Maybe you have synesthesia and you just don't know.
Could you imagine? My dumbass just like going through life. I'm like, oh, I have this really cool rare thing. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. Maybe not
I'm
the
like,
traditional, maybe not the traditional colors or whatever, but maybe it's just like
no.
a feeling.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, maybe I am seeing colors this whole time and I have no idea.
Because you're
My
colorblind.
color.
Isn't that fucking rough? This
No,
bitch
but
has
like I've been like
synesthesia but is colorblind, so riddle me this, I guess.
I'm like, yeah, no, this album smells like that. And people are like, what?
What
I'm
do you
like,
mean?
yeah, there's like a very specific like bourbon steeped tea that I used to like a lot. That reminds me
Yeah.
very specifically of like, so if I see certain Cormac McCarthy art novels, I will
Uh-huh.
immediately smell that tea.
This bitch has synesthesia and we're probably freaking this out right now. Some form of it. I don't know what it like it could be like it could be a different like fucking word, but that's like adjacent, you know? Or apparently or if that's a normal thing, I don't experience it.
Or I'm just mentally unwell and bisexual. I don't know.
I mean that's a given, I think. That's just a given. I just don't have those.
You know what gives it away? The fucking half up bun with the curly fucking hair.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. Like half up is
It's
the
the half
thing.
up.
It's
The
the
half
half
up.
up.
Instantly
Yeah.
gay.
It's it's like just not straight. Whatever,
Instantly
like
gay.
queer. Oh my God.
And
But
yet
anyway,
people think I'm straight all the time. I'm like, people
really?
think you've seen me and JJ together, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
In the rare occasions, yeah.
we have now like 3 times gone into like a store to like get stuff. And people are like, oh, you guys are such a cute couple. And we're like, have you ever seen a gay person before?
I was to say, um, I don't know. I don't know if people. I don't know. Maybe the straights just don't have a gaydar. Obviously.
But then on the other hand, everybody at my old job, when they found out I was like dating and living with Kevin romantically, they
Yeah.
were like, oh, we thought you guys were roommates. I'm like, I just got roommated with a man. How gay am I? Like, how gay
I
am I to you
don't.
people? How do you see me
The economy of
that
being a
you roommated
bisexual.
me with
I
a
know. Just
man?
you really just friend zoned you with a fucking man. Yeah, that's crazy. Um. Well, I don't know.
And like,
I
not
don't
for
know.
nothing, I walk around like a homo with the fucking hands. Like I have the little
The
fucking,
fucking
I have the
you have
gay hands
wrist,
all the
the fucking
time,
wrist, the limp
dude.
wrist.
Like I'm carrying a like water bottle in my hand like this. I'm like, oh my god, and like
Yeah.
you're like, no, that's definitely a straight one. I'm like,
I
hmm.
don't know. You don't give off straight vibes at all. People clock me all the time. But like I'm not I'm not a lesbian though. That's the
No.
thing. Like like I'm
They're like,
bi.
oh, you just don't like men. You're like, no. Unfortunately, I am afflicted with that unfortunate
Unfortunately,
provocation.
yeah, unfortunately I swing that way more than the other.
Sadly,
It's just
I
like
prefer men. What a
sadly,
travesty. I
yeah.
know.
But it's because like I dress like a fucking dude. I went that gay, whereas
They
you're
were
the other
that
one.
gay.
Where you're the other one. Um, but maybe the tattoos will give them more of a like, oh, she's not. Maybe she's not. Because they're like dainty enough. They can't be like lesbian, like
No,
fucking like
no,
yeah.
no, those are gay. But you didn't know
It
your
is.
tattoos were gay, but you didn't know your like the tattoos that used to like your
Oh
tattoos
well,
were gay.
yes,
Like
yeah. But I'm talking
your
about straight
tattoos are
people.
yeah, but your tattoos are not helping your straight case. If anything, your tattoos just clocked you gayer. I'm so sorry.
Which is
Your
fine.
tattoos, straights are gonna see those and be like, oh, she's
Oh,
never been
gay.
interested in a man in her life. She has never looked at a man in a positive way ever. And
So
while
that
they're not
is
wrong,
true. That is true. But it is unfortunate that
I have a downstairs preference, and unfortunately, that's typically found on men.
uh damn.
And on this week of Unhinged Nightmare, we started talking about women not being believed at by doctors, and now we're like, as per usual, men are trash and we don't like them.
Yeah. So there's that. I'm over it. So like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our Instagrams. I'm over it.
I'm over it. We're done. Bye.
See you later. Also email us because we haven't had an
Toodles.
email, so bye.
Bye.